Jai Shri Ram. I want you all to first like this video. There's a reason why I'm asking this. We have put together a very detailed slide deck about why this Ram Mandir has been designed in the following way. What is the history? What is the lineage of Ram? And how this whole thing connects together with the universe. It's a very important video in my opinion, and I hope you guys will agree with me at the end of this that it was indeed useful. First of all, is Rama a Suryavanshi or a Chandravanshi? That is, have they descended from Surya or from Chandra? So we're going to start from way back and then wind our way through this slide deck. So a small request to all of you to like this video, and if you've not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. So here we go. First off, why is the architecture of Ayodhya Ram Mandir the way it is? So we're going to explain this. First, let's take a look at something else. Why is the architecture of Ayodhya Ram Mandir the way it is? But first, let's go back and look at what happened in the last 500 years. We all know that the original temple that was supposed to be a 10th century Ram Lalla Mandir was destroyed and a masjid was constructed called Babri Masjid. We all know that part, right? Now, modern scholars such as senior archaeologist B.B. Lal, K.K. Muhammad and others have contributed to consolidating the earlier Mandir remains. The image of the current temple was released somewhere in the 1980s while progressing the long ongoing movement of temple construction. What is the spiritual significance of Ayodhya? Well, here is the most important takeaway. You know, in Sanskrit, there are many Puranas that talk about the Saptapuri or 7 places or 7 cities. And these are 7 Hindu tirthas or holy pilgrimage sites located in India. Pilgrimage to these sites is said to bless the pilgrim with moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Which are these 7 places? Haridwar, Mathura, Ayodhya, Dwarka, Ujjain, Varanasi and Kanchipuram. You all know the famous quote by Kalidasa, right? Pushpeshu Jati, Purusheshu Vishnu, Narishu Rambha, Nagareshu Kanchi. Well, I'm very proud of that because my mother's side ancestors come from Kanchipuram. So, you know, a little bit of bragging rights here. But anyway, so let's get back to these 7 cities. Shloka from the Garuda Purana describes the 7 places: Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Puri, Dwaravati, Chaiva, 𝗤𝙬 Mokshadayakaha. Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Mayapuri or Haridwar, Kashi, Varanasi, Kanchi, Kanchipuram, Avantika, Ujjain and Dwaravati, Dwaraka. These 7 cities are givers of moksha, liberation, and are called Mokshapuri. What is moksha? You know, we all believe in reincarnation. So as we do depending on how we do a certain janma or one life, you will be either going up or down in terms of as a human being. Sometimes if you do really bad, you might get into someone less than a human being like an animal. Now, it's not to say that the animals are bad. It's just the way this thing is structured. Anyway, so moksha is the situation, one state where you do not get any more rebirths. So every human being aspires to get moksha so that they don't have to be born on earth again. Ayodhya is the first out of 7 important places for Hindus for spiritual liberation. So now let's take a look at the history of Ayodhya. Ayodhya has been part of India's oral history throughout its epic Ramayana, which was the capital of the legendary Ikshvaku kings of Kosala, including Sri Ram. According to the Ramayana, Ayodhya was founded by 𝗣𝗚𝗏 Manu. In fact, if you start doing any puja vidhana today, we always start with 𝗣𝗚𝗏 Manvantare. There are many Manus. The current progeny, all of us are descended from 𝗣𝗚𝗏 Manu. And who was 𝗣𝗚𝗏 the son of? This gives you the answer whether they are Suryavanshi or Chandravanshi. Surya was his father. Again, after that, a few more generations and the original creator, Brahma, is the son or the father or the originator of all of human race. This is something that you guys can go back and take a look at it. Many people have this stuff on Google. So, According to the Ramayana, Ayodhya was founded by 𝗣𝗚𝗀 Manu, the progenitor of mankind, and measured 12 by 3 yojanas in area. If I remember correctly, 1 yojana is, I think, approximately 3 miles in terms of modern day measurement. So you get the idea of how big the city was. Both Ramayana and Mahabharata describe Ayodhya as the capital of the 𝗤𝗚𝘂𝗁 dynasty of Koshala, including Ram and Dasharath. By the way, 𝗣𝗚𝗀 Manu's one of his sons was 𝗤𝗚𝗂, who succeeded him. In fact, if you listen to Bhadrachala Ramdas, he will say 𝗤𝗚𝗄𝗁 𝗚𝗂 and all that stuff. And also there are 2 Raghus in this lineage, both of whom were very powerful kings, and they also called Rama's Raghuvamsa Sutta. Again, this comes in songs, and you all know all these things. I just wanted to kind of touch upon this about the lineage of the Rama and Dasharatha. The Purana Panchalakshana also describes the city as the capital of 𝗤𝗚𝗂 kings, including Raja Harishchandra. Buddhist Pali literature mentions the city as 𝗤𝘂𝘆 near Shravasti. Shravasti is also another name for Sarayu, which is believed to be the city of Ayodhya. In fact, you will see many people naming their houses 𝗤𝘂𝘆. Especially I've seen it in Karnataka quite a bit, and also seen it in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu also. That 𝗤𝘂𝘆 is meaning like Rama lives, our house is like Rama's house. Jain Prakrit language texts mention this city called 𝗤𝘂𝘆, Sageya or Seya in Prakrit, as an important city of the Koshala Mahajanapada. Now, let us fast forward a little bit, come to the 8th century. The Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. The Gurjara Pratihara was a dynasty that ruled much of North India from the mid-8th to the 11th century. They ruled first at Ujjain and later at 𝗠𝗏𝗃. The Gurjara Pratiharas were instrumental in controlling Arab armies moving east of the Sindhu river. In the Gwalior inscription, it is recorded that Gurjara Pratihara Emperor Nagabhatta crushed the large army of a powerful 𝗏𝗏𝗃. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is foreigner, of course, you know that, right? 𝗠𝗏𝗃 became the center of Gurjara Pratihara state, which covered much of northern India during the peak of their power, that is from 836 CE to 910 CE. A brief about the Maru Gurjara style of temple architecture in India. I am coming to why this particular architecture, that is the Ayodhya temple architecture, is designed the way it is. The Maru Gurjara temples have 3 divisions in their elevations, namely the Pitha, the main hall is called Mandovara, and the Shikhara. The whole temple stands on a Kharasila, which is similar to the Jagati of the other Nagar temples. This architectural style is called Nagara architectural style. The heavy sculptural treatment of the architecture indicates a link between Maru Gurjara architecture, and let's take a look at what Mandovara means. We talked about this. Mandovara is a temple wall of the Maru Gurjara temples. It has 3 main sections. Namely, the Vedi Bandha is the series of binding moldings around the main portion of the wall. The Jangha is the main part of the wall, and the Varandika is the series of moldings in the form of cornices. The Varandika is finally topped by a projecting sun shade in the shape of ribbed tiles known as Kurachadya. Shikhara, at the base of the Shikhara is the Rathika bearing the image of a deity. The curvilinear Shikhara is topped by a massive Amalaka over which rests the Chandrika or the capstone, and then the Kalasha. All these things will become obvious when I show you the picture of Sri Ram temple with all these things mentioned. Just wait for just a few slides. Gudha Mandapa, roof of the Mandapa is either Famsana, stepped pyramidal, or Samvarana, bell roof. Now, another temple that was made by the Maru Gurjara dynasty was the Somnath temple, or Somnath temple is also called Deopatan, is a Hindu temple located in Prabhaspatan, Veraval in Gujarat, India. It is one of the most sacred pilgrimage sites for Hindus and is the first among the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines of Lord Shiva. And another temple is the temple of Modhera, Sun temple, and it's dedicated to the solar deity Surya, located at the Modera village of Mehsana district, Gujarat. It is situated on the bank of the river Pushpavati. This style, that is Maru Gurjara style, you will also see in Girnar temples. There is a group of temples of Jainism on Mount Girnar near Junagadh in Junagadh district, Gujarat, India. These temples are sacred to both Digambara and Svetambara branches of Jainism. Also, we have the Ranakpur Jain temple. It is a Chaturmukha Dharana Vihara. Chaturmukha means 4 faces. You know that, right? Someone who is wearing 4 faces. It's a Svetambara Jain temple dedicated to Tirthankara Rishabhanatha. The temple is located in a village of Ranakpur near Sadri town in the Pali district of Rajasthan. Now let's come back to Ram Mandir at Ayodhya. The original design for Ram Mandir was devised in 1988 by the Sompura family of Ahmedabad, headed by Chandrakant Sompura, who is the chief architect of the temple, assisted by his 2 sons Nikhil Sompura and Ashish Sompura. The design went through certain changes in 2020, including the Vastu Shastra and the Shilpa Shastras. Sompuras have contributed to the design of over 100 temples worldwide for at least 15 generations, including the Somnath temple. Sri Ram Mandir construction is managed wholly by the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirtha Kshetra Trust. The estimated cost of construction is expected to range between 1400 to 1800 crores, and this money has been sourced from the public. It is believed that so far they have 3200 crores. So there is room for more improvement, because this is not just the only thing. You will see a lot more things coming in and around this temple complex. And like I said before, the Ram Mandir is designed in the traditional Nagara architectural style with Maru Gujarat sub-style. By the way, the temples in the south, especially in Tamil Nadu and Andhra and a little bit in Karnataka also, you will see them called as Dravidian architectural style. There's another style called as the Mitra architectural style that you will find among the temples in Kerala and also along the coastal Karnataka. I don't know where this thing stops, but you see that in India you have multiple architectural styles. Interestingly, the Brihadishwara temple is not a Dravida architectural style. It is more closer to this one, Nagara architectural style. Just look at the Gopuram there and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, the Mandir has a length east-west of 380 feet, a width of 250 feet and a height of 161 feet. It is 3-storied with each floor being 20 feet tall. Mandir has a total of 392 pillars and 44 gates. The Garbhagriha will have a Ram Lalla in a child form. Sri Ram Darbar will be housed on the first floor. 5 mandaps will adorn the temple: Nritya Mandap, Ranga Mandap, Sabha Mandap, Prarthana Mandap and Kirtana Mandap. Now remember, I was talking about all these names like Dhwaja, Kalasha, Shikhara and all that stuff, and here is the actual representation on the temple. The Dhwaja is the Dvajastambha. Again, if you look at the Nagar style of architecture, the Dvajastambha is very close to the Kalasha and the Shikhara. Whereas in a Dravida style of architecture, the Dvajastambha is near where the feet of the Murti is, which is like way closer to the Jagati here that is mentioned. So there are some subtle differences, and all these things, only when you keep going to different temples, studying their architectures, studying the sculptures, you'll understand. I mean, there's a whole lot of history to absorb if you go to temples. So any one of us, you should have a list now of temples that you want to visit, because there is so much information that you can get about what we were and how we lived our lives. So Dhwaja, I told you. Kalasha, we've explained that also. Shikhara is the main Gopuram under which the Garbhagriha resides, which is where Ram Lalla will be there. And the Pradakshina Patha is the way that you go circumambulate. You all know that we'll do it in the clockwise direction. We are not supposed to go in anti-clockwise direction. Then you have the mandaps described there and also Jagati. All the pillars and walls are decorated with statues and sculptures of gods, goddesses and other figurines very peculiar feature of the Maru Gurjara style of temple architecture. Mandir is housed on a high platform that is 𝙥𝙤𝙤𝙬. Entry is from the east side and there will be a flight of 32 steps. The name of the main entry is called 𝗠𝙗𝙗𝙬𝙗. And here we see from the front, as we look at the temple, you have the Kudu Mandapa, Nritya Mandapa, Ranga Mandapa, Prarthana Mandapa, Kirtana Mandapa, 16 feet wide staircase and pillars. The temple is universally accessible, meaning you have ramps to get in and out from all the layers, and elderly and physically challenged will be also able to access it. The prakara or the enclosure wall around the temple is square, with each side measuring 732 meters, and the width of this is 14 feet. We are mixing measurement systems, I know, but it is just to give you a sense of the size, right? 14 feet is easy to visualize about the width of the actual prakara. The four corners will have four temples of the deities Sun, Bhagavati, Ganapati and Shiva. On the northern side of the complex is Annapurna Devi's Mandir, and on the southern side we'll have Hanuman Mandir. Sita Kund is also part of the complex, which also has a mythological significance. The Mandir complex will also have temples dedicated to 𝗤𝗂𝘂𝘁, 𝗤𝗚𝘂𝘆, Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the world's architect, Agastya and Shabari, along with Devi Ahilya. The ancient Shiv Mandir, which was on site, has already been renovated with Navratna Kuber tile in the southwestern part, and a statue of Jatayu has also been installed there. We all know the role of Jatayu in Ramayana, right? Mandir is constructed using all modern scientific knowledge of services, support systems, keeping material authentic and traditional Indian material used for mandirs in India. So this is how this complex looks like. Beautiful square complex. Remember I told you one side is 832 meters and it is 14 feet wide. The stone is brought from Bundelkhand, granite from Karnataka, marble from Makrana, Balua stone from Bharatpur, timber for doors from Ballarsha, and masons from Hyderabad, Tamil Nadu and Odisha. The inclusion of soil from Thailand in the consecration ceremony symbolizes a global recognition of Bhagwan Sri Ram's legacy. Even today, the king of Thailand has the name Rama. The current one is Rama 10. It transcends geographical boundaries, reinforcing the universal appeal of Ayodhya as a spiritual center. The mandir is constructed using traditional Indian materials, using indigenous technology. However, special attention is given to the environment and water conservation. A testament to religious faith, Sri Ram Mandir is a stunning architectural achievement. Mandir's rich symbolism and cultural resonance stand as to endure the legacy of Ram and the collective spirit of the devotees involved in this creation. As a living spiritual heritage of India, the mandir endures the legacy of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Ram Mandir will go a long way in making Ayodhya the spiritual capital of India. Jai Shri Ram. That brings us to a close of this monologue. I hope you liked it, and again a sincere request to all of you to please share this with like-minded people, because this is something that we all share. It doesn't matter which religion we are, because 6,000 years ago most likely we were all Sanatanis. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.